in the form of electricity, in the form of oil, petrol, diesel, and lately gas. Why this emphasis on renewable, and why renewable? Of late, it has been realized that thermal generation, whether it is coal-based, gas-based, causes generation of heat, which has two consequences. One is the heat emanated during the cooling process, and second is heat generated during the combustion process. And third is the gases, greenhouse gases emitted by the process of thermal generation. These three things led to a thinking that there should be availability of energy without creating the impact on environment through these three factors. And that led to more and more thinking and emphasis on renewable. If you recall the old ships, which used to be ships and boats, which used to be run by the masts and the direction of the wind, the mankind has already learned how to harness the wind energy and convert it into a linear motion. This led to generation of wind, of power, of mechanical energy and power through the use of wind, through the windmills, greatly used all over Europe. And from the mechanical lifting of water, it moved to generation of electrical energy using the wind and the wind speed to rotate the rotor and the generator in the dynamo formation to generate energy. Similarly, the solar had been a very human-friendly source of energy since centuries. At least I remember when I was a child, my grandmother used to leave the water in the sun till about 1 o'clock, and by that time the chill used to be over. So that process went on, and now it is, with the technical evaluation, the sunlight gets converted into energy, that is electricity. The thought came because the global warming, which is moving ahead of the requirement of energy because of the economic development, because of urbanization, because of increase in income, because of demonstration effect on consumption, the demand for energy and its consumption is increasing in an exponential manner, which in turn is leading to global warming, which in turn is disturbing the weathers across the world, in different regions, in different countries, within countries, in different regions and different pockets. So this has led to a concentration on renewable energy. In India, India was one of the first countries to set up a full-fledged Department of Energy way back in 1982. But the progress has been slow, as Mr. Rawat yesterday narrated, that it used to be known as the Department of Solar Cookers and the Department of Subsidy and so on. It's during the last 2 years, wind had of course picked up earlier, but the solar emphasis came during the last 2 years. And now it is estimated that India would be investing something like $2.8 trillion equivalent of money on energy generation, transmission, distribution, infrastructure across the country. It is estimated that by 2027, the renewable may overtake the gas. But to take over coal, it may take another 10 years, that is 2037, that is 21 years down the line, when the renewable may overtake the coal. So for next 20 years, the coal is going to be the mainstay unless and until there is some very strong, efficient, reliable technology which can deliver the last mile, reliable, affordable, quality power to the masses. Thus, we come to a point that to have this power, we need investment. We need investment and we need machine. When we put the investment and the machine and the technology together, we need the human element to operate that machine. What matters is machine, yes, to a great extent, but to a greater extent, it is a man behind the machine who matters. And it is the man behind the machine who delivers. And it is the man behind the machine which makes the supply affordable, reliable, and its quality. Because there is a flow of current. Now its dispatch has to be regulated. It has to be controlled. It has to be sensitized to the demand. It has to be sensitized to the change in various factors which affect the demand. Say, for example, humidity, temperature, air speed, and a host of factors. Within this, the various types of manpowers are required in the renewable, starting from the R&D. After R&D, it is the manufacturing, fabrication, logistics, erection, commissioning, synchronization, then system integration, and last but not least, the dispatch. All these 6 disciplines are interdependent, interconnected, and a must for the delivery. Therefore, in this, we have to visualize where we are and where we need to go. There was a study conducted by Council of Water, Environment and Energy and NRDC and 2 or 3 international organizations. One base was 210, second was revised for in 2011. The latest study is of 2015, which says we have something like 70,000 and odd people in the country who are associated with this activity. Whereas to meet the goal of 1 lakh megawatt of solar and 60,000 of wind, we need something like 1.3 million, that is 13 lakh people trained in different disciplines and different of these 10 stages. Of these, some will be highly skilled, some will be semi-skilled, some will be partially skilled to suit the activity. So this session is dedicated or devoted to thought-provoking how to get that manpower, because we are putting a heavy stake of almost $110 billion in the renewable energy sector in every year over the next 25 years. So equal attention must also be paid to the training, empowerment, enablement of the people who will manage these assets and who will run these assets, who will do the operations and management, who will do the day-to-day running and maintain the technical health of this equipment, so that 3 purposes are served. The investment is serviced, the investor is not duped, the system sustains and maintains the sustainable delivery, and 3, the cost of the delivery to the consumer and assured supply to the consumer. All the 3 are greatly dependent on the manpower, because the sources of supply of machinery, in case of solar panel, in case of wind, India is the biggest manufacturer of the wind turbines. In case of solar, US is one producer, Japan is another producer, China is the largest producer. So the technology-wise, the products are more or less the same. In wind, except for the height and the diameter of the rotor, the technology is the same with all the manufacturers. So what actually matters is the man behind the machine. And we are here just to exchange ideas and to generate what are the dimensions of this aspect and how to get the best manpower and to optimize the renewable resources. With this, I request Mr. Harinaran to give his presentation.